CTV3 News. A bar brawl turns deadly for 18-year-old Noe Batun from Guinea-Grass. He becomes Orange Walk's second murder for 2026. In the south of Orange Walk, two miners from August Pine Ridge ingest a toxic substance after consuming a piece of sweet bread. And in the west of the country, two teenagers become victims of a fatal traffic accident. And in news concerning the sugar industry, members of the BSAFA reject Tate and Lyles and BSI ASR's proposed settlement agreement and opt to continue with court case. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Monday, March 23rd, 2026.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails. Paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
ExpressNet now has up to 400 megabytes of high-speed internet. Choose the speed that fits you. From faster browsing to faster gaming. Connect more devices at once. Or bundle it with Express Plus and HBO Max. Internet and streaming entertainment, all in one.
Yeah, faster starts here.
Sign up today at any Centaur office or contact us to get started.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
The way some people are talking you'd never know, but the most blatant nepotism and fleecing of BTL took place under UDP when Dean Barrow was Prime Minister. Barrow placed his son Anwar on BTL's board in 2009 as soon as he nationalized the company, which would eventually cost Belizeans almost $650 million for shares barely worth $200 million. By 2014, Anwar was appointed executive chairman with extravagant salary and perks. Under him, BTL spent wildly on ventures that did not materialize and never brought any returns. Under the Barrows, BTL's profits plummeted from $38 million in 2009 to $17 million in 2019, and $10 million in 2020, as the company hardly paid dividends to government and people of Belize. Anwar Barrow has no moral authority to talk about BTL, as it was under his nepotistic rule, appointed by his father, that BTL was most blatantly fleeced.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
We recently formed MOUs with the American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute, which is the education arm of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, and also with the American Culinary Federation to do culinary training. We're here to celebrate our accomplishments. And this is not about replacing Belizean cuisine. This is about, we want the Belizean cuisine, we want the Belizean richness and diversity, right? So this is about your skills. You all know what you all learned, so it's about transferring that skill.
We want to inspire this career because, you know, it's amazing. You love what you do, right? And it really is something that I think we can inspire other young Belizeans to undertake. And it's now part of your responsibility as those who have received this training and see a pathway for greater things.
Just to put it into perspective, there's only about 6,000 certified executive chefs in North America. There is only 69 certified master chefs in the world. There is less than 10 certified executive pastry chefs in this entire world. And now in Belize, we have 3 sitting in this room.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. The Orange Walk District has recorded its second murder in less than 3 days following the fatal shooting of 18-year-old Noe Batun in Guinea Grass Village on Sunday night. Batun was reportedly socializing with friends at Hidden Cool Spot, which is located just a short distance from his home, when he was fatally shot. His death comes on the heels of Friday's murder of Albertito Pot, marking a troubling escalation of violence in the district over a single weekend. According to police, the incident stemmed from a dispute earlier in the night at a bar within the village. Assistant Superintendent of Police Stacy Smith confirmed that one individual involved in the altercation was initially escorted out of the establishment but later returned and fired into the establishment, injuring Batun. The teenager sustained severe injuries and died while being transported to the Northern Regional Hospital.
Police have detained one male person and are seeking another as a part of an ongoing investigation into a shooting incident which resulted in the death of Noe Batun, a 19-year-old Belizean laborer of Guinea Grass Village, Orange Walk District. The investigation commenced on Sunday, 22nd March 2026 at approximately 11:47 p.m. when investigators in that village were advised that an injured Mr. Batun was being ferried to the Northern Regional Hospital, having been shot moments prior. What we have been able to gather so far is that Batun was involved in an altercation at a bar in that village, and the male person who is the suspect in this incident was escorted from that property. It is reported and alleged that that male person returned in the company of another, and he is alleged to have fired a shot into the bar, which resulted in the injury of Batun and his eventual demise.
Accounts from residents and family members paint a slightly broader picture of the events leading up to the shooting. Relatives who spoke to us today off record say Batun and a group of friends had earlier been socializing at another establishment in the community, where a disagreement reportedly broke out with another group of individuals. The group later moved to a nearby hangout spot where the situation escalated. According to those present, the assailants followed them to the location, and one individual, described as someone well known within the village, reportedly opened fire from behind a cement fence, striking Batun in the face. Family members say the incident unfolded in full view of witnesses, some of whom recognized the shooter. They also noted that there had been no prior disputes involving Batun, suggesting the violence may have been triggered solely by the earlier confrontation that night. Police have since detained one man in connection with the shooting and are actively searching for the person believed to have been behind the fatal shooting. The back-to-back murders have left residents of Guinea Grass and the wider Orange Walk district on edge, raising concerns about rising tensions and need for conflict resolution within communities before disputes turn deadly. Two minors from August Pine Ridge Village, Orange Walk District are presently under medical supervision at the Northern Regional Hospital, NRH, following an incident in which they reportedly ingested a toxic substance on Sunday evening. According to authorities, police and criminal investigation branch, CIB, personnel responded to reports around 7:20 p.m. on March 22, 2026, that 2 children had been brought to NRH after consuming what is believed to be poisoned food. Preliminary inquiries revealed that the 34-year-old caretaker responsible for a neighbor's residence had taken a plastic bag containing 3 sweetbreads at approximately 6:20 p.m. She was unaware that the items allegedly held an unidentified poisonous substance. Later, she handed the bread to her own children, a 16-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy. Shortly after eating the bread, the teenager noticed a white powdery residue on the food and began experiencing difficulty breathing. The younger child also took a bite but spat it out after feeling dizzy. Both children were promptly transported to the hospital where they received medical treatment. Authorities have stated that the specific substance ingested has not yet been identified. Fortunately, both minors are reported to be in stable condition and are currently under observation at the hospital. Tragedy struck near Belmopan on Saturday afternoon as 2 teenage friends, 17-year-old Axel Shaw and 15-year-old Jonathan Millian, lost their lives in a devastating traffic accident. The incident has left their families devastated and searching for answers. According to police reports, the collision occurred around 5 p.m. on the George Price Highway near mile 43. Shaw was riding a motorcycle when he entered the highway and collided into a tandem truck heading towards Belmopan. Authorities explained that the truck driver attempted to avoid the crash, but the rear end of the truck's bowser struck the motorcycle, leading to the fatal outcome.
Police are investigating a fatal traffic accident which resulted in the death of 17-year-old Axel Shaw and 15-year-old Giovanni Middleton, both of the city of Belmopan. What we have learned so far in the course of this ongoing investigation is that at approximately 5 o'clock p.m. on Saturday, 21st March 2026, both Shaw and Milton were on a motorcycle which was being driven by Shaw. It is reported that Shaw entered the George Price Highway near mile 43, and upon doing so, a collision occurred between that motorcycle and a tandem truck which was traveling towards Belmopan City. It is reported that the driver of the tandem truck sought to avoid the collision. However, the Bowser, which was attached to the tandem truck, made contact with the motorcycle, which resulted in the eventual demise of these individuals.
Axel and Jonathan had been close friends since their first year at Belmopan Comprehensive High School. Saturday was meant to be just another day of hanging out together before the tragedy unfolded. In the wake of the accident, investigators have served a notice of intended prosecution to the truck driver and collected samples for analysis as part of the ongoing inquiry. Officials have also highlighted that whoever allowed the teenagers to use the motorcycle may have committed an offense, and identifying this individual is now a critical aspect of the investigation. Authorities have taken a significant step in the investigation of the brutal triple murder that shocked the community of San Pedro on Thursday night. 22-year-old Shelby Jonathan Hernandez, a local fisherman, has been formally charged in connection with the deadly incident. Hernandez faces 3 counts of murder following the tragic deaths of Kareem Nazim Espat, Oscar Modesto Mas, and Yerlin Marisol Bueso Alvarez. However, Hernandez's family disputes the charges and is claiming that surveillance footage places him at home during the time of the killings. In relation to Espat, Assistant Superintendent of Police Stacy Smith revealed that he was on high court bail that restricted him from residing in San Pedro at the time of his murder.
On Saturday, March 21st, 2026, police formally arrested and charged 22-year-old Shelby Jonathan Hernandez, a Belizean fisherman of San Pedro Town, for 3 counts of murder. Hernandez is known to police, having been recently convicted of being a member of a gang, namely the San Pedro Crips gang.
Does police expect to make any other arrests?
It is an ongoing investigation. As developments are made, those will be shared with the media.
Would you be able to confirm if the female victim was pregnant?
I do not have that information.
And was there any surveillance video in which the suspect had been identified?
It is an ongoing investigation. The details of the investigation that has been disclosed is the extent to which the department wishes to disclose.
Any additional boots on the ground in San Pedro in preparation for maybe a retaliation?
I believe on the last occasion, Mr. Romero would have addressed the media in relation to that. We have known that when incidents are of such in that area, there is a propensity for them to be reprisal, and certainly we have adjusted our operational strategy in that regard. It is also important to note that Mr. Espat, at the time of his demise, was on a high court bail which precluded him from residing in San Pedro. I guess the argument would be that he was not residing, no, he was just living there. But I say all this to say that when conditions are placed on bail, they are placed on bail for very important reason, and we encourage those persons who are in conflict with the law to follow the conditions of their bail, because it is certainly something that benefits their own safety.
Have police been contacted by the Hernandez family?
I spoke with the investigator just a while ago because I did see the report that was placed on the media. And in my discussions with the investigator, they said, yes, they in fact visited the family pretty shortly after the incident, as soon as that information came known to them, in the interest of conducting a thorough investigation. The video footage was extracted, however, it was not able to conclusively support their version of events, and based on the investigation and the evidence gathered so far, that is what led police to the charges that have been proffered.
Details surrounding the motive and the events leading up to the murders remain under investigation. 4 individuals have been taken into custody, and a stolen motorcycle has been recovered by police in Orange Walk following an incident reported earlier this week. According to reports, on March 17, 2026, a 22-year-old call center employee reported the theft of her black 2024 Leafan 100cc scooter valued at $2,200. The incident occurred in her yard on Douglas Street in Orange Walk Town. The victim explained that she had securely parked her motorcycle inside her yard on the night of March 16th. However, when she checked the following morning, the motorcycle was no longer there. Law enforcement officials launched an investigation, which included analyzing video footage from nearby surveillance cameras. This effort led to the successful recovery of the stolen item. As a result of their inquiries, police detained 4 suspects, 2 18-year-old males, a 21-year-old male, and a 15-year-old minor. Coming up next, we take you to Belmopan for the opening of the 2026 budget debate. Stay tuned.
The Orange Walk Town Council is inviting applications from suitably qualified and motivated individuals to fill 5 garbage fee collector positions within our revenue department. Minimum requirements: high school diploma, friendly and people-oriented personality, tech-savvy, must own reliable transportation, preferably a motorcycle, honest and dependable. Interested applicants are asked to submit the following documents: application letter, copy of high school diploma, valid social security card, 2 character references. Applications must be submitted in person to the Orange Walk Town Council office by February 20th, 2026. Join our team and contribute to keeping Orange Walk clean and organized.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails, paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
The Civil Registry Department and Vital Statistics Unit provides comprehensive information services to assist citizens in obtaining official documentation related to key life events. You can apply for birth, death, marriage, adoption, or deed poll certificates for records that have already been registered. You can also request tailored information extracts or certified copies of documents about specific life events. All vital statistics information services are available through the new Civil Registry and Vital Statistics System, CRVS. You can complete all services online from the comfort of your own home, or if you prefer face-to-face interaction or need additional support, you can visit their nearest office to complete any service. The new CRVS, digitally connecting citizens to all vital statistics services. Visit crvs.gov.bz today to access our services.
There's a saying I often return to, and that is a Chinese saying, that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Today, Belize chooses now, because Belize has always lived under the shade of the tree. Remember Sobumbre Floreo. Our forests, mangroves, rivers, and farms are not just features of our landscape, they are part of who we are as a people. They protect us from storms, feed our families, support livelihoods, and anchor our resilience in a changing climate. But we also know this truth. What we do not protect, we will eventually lose.
Greening Belize, 1 million trees for climate and sustainable development. Our forest cover is declining, especially after the fire season. What will be achieved? Restore and reforested lands, significant increase in hectares restored by 2035. Enhanced carbon sequestration. We'll have improved data, mapping, and reporting systems with this. Institutional readiness, feasibility study and design for a national forestry incentive program. Community mobilization, which will build capacity and increase participation nationally, and improve governance.
For all environmentally conscious individuals and groups, CBOs, NGOs, community organizations, universities, come in to do their part to plant trees to assist in the restoration initiative for the country of Belize.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
Primera llegada con peligro por parte de Pot. Vemos la repetición. Llegan los linderos del área. La número 7 llegó con todo Pot. Estamos en vivo, en directo a través del canal 53 de Centaur. Izquierda viene cámara. El número 7 saca el disparo largo. El disparo de cámara.
Nosotros somos los campeones, estamos listos para National.
In a decisive move, members of the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, BSCFA, voted overwhelmingly to continue the landmark legal battle over unpaid fair trade premiums, dismissing also a settlement offer that included $1 million worth of fertilizer. During a special general meeting held on Sunday, approximately 75% of BSCFA members rejected the proposal put forth by Belize Sugar Industries BSI and Tate and Lyle Sugars TNL, which requires BSCFA to permanently and irrevocably withdraw the current lawsuit within 7 days of signing, waive all rights of fair trade premiums for every crop year prior to 2026-2027, including 2023-2024 and 2024-2025, relinquish the awarded cost, release BSI and TLS from all past and future claims related to these issues, and maintain strict confidentiality on the agreement terms. In exchange, TLS commits to signing a Letter of Enhancement Agreement LOE for the single crop year 2026-2027 and to withdraw its appeal. But, as mentioned, cane farmers rejected the proposed settlement yesterday after detailed legal counsel from attorney Magali Marin Young.
Well, Kami, yesterday, the leadership went to present to the farmers what was put on the table, or proposal that was put on the table by Tate and Lyle, ESR, and also BSI. Both of them, on which they are proposing a settlement agreement on which they are asking the farmers to drop the case, to abandon the fair trade premium. But also what was tricky on it, Kami, or what is tricky on it, is that on the proposal that they have set forward to the BSCFA, is that once we sign, that no group, no director, no other people coming on the future will have the ability or the opportunity to renegotiate this issue again. So once we sign, we abandon that. But they're not giving us anything. And based on that, the proposal also came together with the proposal of the government, of the Office of the Prime Minister, on which his proposal was to grant us 500,000 and then another 500,000, but also asking us to drop the case and to abandon the case. And the farmers were not happy with that. So the farmers yesterday voted that no, we don't want that to happen. We want to continue in court and let the court decide on what would be the outcome of the case. So that is what the farmers.
The association's resolute stance signals a continued fight in court, a battle they are confident of winning based on their lawyers' advice.
Clear, but yes, we have a good case. Ourselves as leaders, knowing the fair trade standards, we can clearly see that we have a good case. And that is why yesterday when she explained to the farmers understood very clear that we have a good case, and the farmers voted that we continue with all. In regards to payment to the liar, at this point in time, we don't know what will be. Well, we know that there's a percentage that she has put forward, but at the moment, she is not charging anything. She has been doing her work by her own. What she proposed to us, because she understands and knows the financial situation on which we are at this point. So she said that once the case is being won in court, then she will charge her fees on the work that she has been doing.
And she has informed about the percentage that she's looking for?
Yes, 15%.
15%,
yes.
Of whatever is awarded by the court.
Exactly.
And that would be paid out of the fair trade premiums if you receive that.
While BSCFA remains open to negotiations, it stands firm on the principle that any resolution must include clear recognition and compensation for the premiums rightfully owed to its members.
But nevertheless, the association is ongoing, as the association has always been financed by the contribution that is being given by the farmers during the crop. That is how the administration is running. Now, in case of programs, there haven't been any program. Apart from when Mr. Mai was the Minister of Agriculture, if we can recall, he assisted us 2 years on which he managed to grant us $1 million out of fertilizer for those years that he was the minister. Nevertheless, at this point in time, we have not been given the opportunity to get that a benefit to the farmers as we speak. But we, as an organization, as administration, We are trying to see how best we can get, where we can get, so that our farmers can get at least something to benefit.
Of note is that in June 2024, BSCFA initiated legal action against BSI and TLS seeking fair trade premiums amounting to $4,922,470.80 for the 2021-2022 and 2022-2023 crop years. The association also claimed damages for alleged unlawful conspiracy and breach of contract. TLS responded swiftly by attempting to dismiss the case, arguing that Belize's courts lacked jurisdiction. This motion was denied on July 4, 2025, by Justice Mansour of the High Court of Belize, who affirmed jurisdiction and awarded costs to BSCFA. TLS has appealed this decision with the appeal hearing set for March 38, 2026. 3 days of budget debate kicked off this morning in the National Assembly in Bamapan, where the 2026-2027 budget presented on March 10th by Prime Minister John Briceño is being looked at and discussed by both sides of the House. Opposition leader Tracy Panton opened this morning's budget debate, where she raised concern over the rising cost of living. Panton focused on the fuel taxation, adding that Belizeans are now paying more for fuel at the pumps because of government tax. The opposition leader also criticized the budget presentation delivered by Prime Minister John Briceño, saying it failed to address the financial realities facing ordinary citizens.
The Prime Minister also proudly boasts that inflationary costs had fallen to 1.1% this year, which does not accurately represent what Belizeans are feeling in their pockets for basic commodities. In the last few months, everything from fuel at the pumps to water rates to electricity rates to grocery items to rent expenses to property and trade license fees have all seen marked increases. Every Belizean is singing the same tune. A family of 4 can no longer live on $100 per week. Nowhere in his speech, Madam Speaker, did the PM proclaim that our Belizeans are enjoying more purchasing power. Even the most recent increases in minimum wage from $3.30 per hour to $5, lauded by the government as a manifesto commitment delivered to Belizeans and paid out by employers, not government, unless you are hired by the public service, has now been negated by sharp increases in the cost of living.
Her remarks set a critical tone for the start of the budget debate as discussions continue over government spending, taxation, and the broader economic outlook for Belizean households. Opposition leader Tracy Panton continued her contribution to today's budget debate by turning attention to several of the government's major spending areas, raising concerns about their effectiveness and impact on the Belizean people. A key focus for her remark was the allocation for health care, which she argued remains insufficient in addressing the needs of the population. Panton said that despite significant budgetary provisions, gaps in service delivery continue to affect communities across the country, leaving many Belizeans without adequate access to quality care.
Affordable, quality health care is increasingly difficult for workers. More funding is welcome if it prioritizes patient care over personal gain. The health and wellness budget is just under $200 million, with $102 million for recurrent expenditure, $95 million for CAP 2, and $2.5 million for CAP 3 support. Most of the recurrent expenditure represents salaries and emoluments, while CAP 2 is classified by the reclassification of a $33 million subsidy committed to KHMH and $52 million for the purchase of medical and pharmaceutical supplies. It is important for the Belizean people to note that there is no previously established precedence where such reclassification has been done for medical supplies. Madam Speaker, with a sum of $52 million allocated to central medical stores, a $20 million increase from this year, no Belizean should be denied care at any public care facility or at the KHMH due to shortages of basic education and supplies.
She also questioned the management and accountability of existing health programs, pointing to what she described as a lack of transparency in how funds are being utilized.
Of the NHI financial statements. To the best of our knowledge, there has been no audit conducted since 2020. The system is operating without any accountability. Even though an oversight body has been convened with a member recommended by the opposition, the Commission still hasn't received budgeted allocation for NHI services this year. As a result, it cannot conduct or provide feedback, despite requesting the information several times. We call on the Ministry of Health and Wellness and the Commission's chairman to make the proposed budget available post haste in the interest of transparency and accountability. The government expects that 325,000 people in Belize will sign up as active NHI service users. This, Madam Speaker, represents a little over 80% of those of us who require primary health care services. We agree with you, Prime Minister, that a healthy nation is a wealthy one. A healthy population maximizes productivity. About 70% of patients are treated by private or will be treated by PCPs, private care providers who have major health service contracts, while the remaining 30% will visit established clinics such as Cleopatra White and Matron Roberts. Madam Speaker, this proposal does not, in our view, constitute healthcare reform. Rather, it represents state-funded privatization of health care delivery.
Panton raised specific concerns about the National Health Insurance NHI system, noting that it has yet to undergo a comprehensive audit. She made a formal call for such a review, stressing the importance of ensuring that the program is operating efficiently and delivering value to Belizeans who depend on it. We'll bring you government's rebuttal in tomorrow's newscast. The government of Belize today introduced the Domestic Violence Prohibition Bill 2026 in the National Assembly. The proposed legislation represents an important step towards strengthening protections for victims of domestic violence and modernizing Belize's national response. The bill seeks to address gaps identified in the current Domestic Violence Act and expand protections for individuals experiencing abuse. It broadens the definition of relationships covered under the law to include dating, visiting, former, and non-cohabiting relationships, ensuring that more victims can access legal protection. The proposed legislation also expands the types of abuse recognized in law, including psychological, emotional, economic, and technology-facilitated abuse. These provisions reflect the evolving nature of domestic violence and support earlier intervention. In addition, the bill strengthens access to protection orders through improved procedures, including expedited hearings and more flexible application processes. It also establishes clearer responsibilities for law enforcement, enhances accountability, and introduces stronger penalties for repeated breaches. The legislation further promotes a more coordinated response by strengthening collaboration among agencies and improving referral pathways for counseling, legal, and social support services. These measures are intended to improve victim safety and access to support. Honorable Thea Garcia Ramirez, Minister of Human Development, Family Support, and Gender Affairs, noted that the introduction of the bill during Women's Month reflects the government's continued commitment to advancing protections for women and families. The introduction of the Domestic Violence Prohibition Bill forms part of the government's broader efforts during Women's Month to promote gender equality, prevent violence, and strengthen support systems for women, children, and families across Belize. Belize's economic outlook shows signs of cautious progress despite continued challenges, according to the latest Central America Composite Index (CACI) report for the first quarter of 2026. The country received a score of 2.34, ranking 7th among the 7 Central American nations assessed in the regional analysis. This placement underscores the lingering efforts of a historically heavy sovereign debt burden, even as recent fiscal reforms offer hope for enhanced macroeconomic stability. A significant factor holding back Belize's performance in its long-standing high public debt, which previously surpassed 100% of the country's GDP before comprehensive reconstructing measures were implemented. This debt legacy remains a key influence on Belize's comparative position in the index, which measures economic on-debt sustainability, fiscal balance, and resilience. Nonetheless, the report acknowledges the 2021 Blue Bond debt restructuring as a pivotal achievement in Belize's fiscal management. This innovative approach substantially lowered external debt obligations, easing the government's financial pressures and creating space for potential public investment. The easing of debt servicing demands is starting to positively impact Belize's medium-term fiscal outlook, offering prospects for improved economic resilience and stability. According to the Central America Economic Review, Belize is on a trajectory towards gradual fiscal improvement. While structural debt challenges persist, the country's fiscal health is trending upward as debt burden lessens. The report states Belize's Q1 2026 score reflects the legacy impact of historically high sovereign debt levels. At the same time, the country's 2021 Blue Bond restructuring presents an important step towards improving fiscal sustainability. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails. paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
The way some people are talking you'd never know, but the most blatant nepotism and fleecing of BTL took place under UDP when Dean Barrow was Prime Minister. Barrow placed his son Anwar on BTL's board in 2009 as soon as he nationalized the company, which would eventually cost Belizeans almost $650 million for shares barely worth $200 million. By 2014, Anwar was appointed executive chairman with extravagant salary and perks. Under him, BTL spent wildly on ventures that did not materialize and never brought any returns. Under the Barrows, BTL's profits plummeted from $38 million in 2009 to $17 million in 2019, and $10 million in 2020, as the company hardly paid dividends to government and people of Belize. Anwar Barrow has no moral authority to talk about BTL, as it was under his nepotistic rule, appointed by his father, that BTL was most blatantly fleeced.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
This building that we have gotten, the Welcome Center, is not just walls and it's not just here to beautify the Punta Gorda town and as an extension the Toledo district and Belize, but it's also here to play a main purpose and a role, and that is to continue to promote our tourism sector in Belize.
This provides us a platform and a venue for us to be able to do multiple things in working towards enhancing the tourism environment in Toledo and really showcasing it not only to locals but also to our international guests, which are paramount for us to continue to grow this industry.
This project, like others that we're working on throughout the country, was designed and is being delivered by Belizeans. We have spoken to the communities, we've spoken to tourism stakeholders and what needs to be done to ensure that we have the necessary infrastructure to improve the quality of the visitor experience.
From March 16 to the 19, 2026, the government of Belize, through the Ministry of Public Utilities, Energy and Logistics, participated in the 9th Ordinary Assembly of the Inter-American Telecommunications Commission, a hemispheric body comprising 35 member states of the Organization of American States, OAS. Dr. Leroy Almendarez, Chief Executive Officer in the ministry, represented Belize at the assembly held in San Jose, Costa Rica, where ministers, regulators, and industry leaders from across the Americas convened to define the strategic direction of telecommunications and digital development for the next 4 years. At the conclusion of the assembly, member states adopted the San Jose Declaration 2026 to 2030, a landmark regional framework aimed at accelerating digital transformation and reducing the digital divide across the hemisphere. The declaration prioritizes expansion of high-capacity digital infrastructure, particularly in rural and underserved communities, strengthened of regulatory frameworks to support investment, innovation, and competition, promotion of universal access and digital inclusion, enhancement of network resilience and cybersecurity, and greater regional coordination in spectrum management and emerging technologies. Belize's engagement comes at a critical juncture as the government advances key initiatives to expand broadband access nationwide and modernize the telecommunications regulatory environment under the oversight of the Public Utilities Commission, PUC. Through its participation in CITEL, Belize continues to position itself as an active and constructive partner in regional telecommunications policy, leveraging international cooperation and technical partnerships to support national development. Today, Belize joins the rest of the world in celebrating World Meteorological Day 2026 under the theme Observing Today, Protecting Tomorrow. This day commemorates the establishment of the convention that gave birth to the World Meteorological Organization, WMO, in 1950. This year's theme highlights the connection between current monitoring, such as satellite images, ocean buoys, and radar, and future disaster resilience. All weather forecasts that are generated across the world are displayed on various platforms, such as mobile apps, websites, social media pages, and television broadcasts require a complex and diverse set of weather observations for them to be accurate and reliable. These weather observations, which are coordinated by the WMO through different national meteorological services across the globe, are fed into complex computer models, with the ultimate products being the weather forecasts that are essential in early warning and in building climate resilience. The National Meteorological Service, NMS, of Belize continues to contribute to the Global Basic Observing Network, GBON, by transmitting routine weather observations from the network of weather stations. In 2025, the department launched a Systematic Observations Financing Facility, SOF, project. Through this project, the NMS will work with SOF to strengthen its infrastructure, processes, and capacity, meeting GBON standards to ensure accuracy, reliability, and availability of data. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Tuesday, March 24th, here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3NewsBZ. From all of us here at CTV3, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.